So this is kind of a little updated shot of my vanity area. I freaking love it at the moment. I think it is super gorgeous. I just got this chair. I got this chair from TJ Maxx. It was $249. And I also got the pillows from there as well. But my eyeshadow collection is actually on the left side here, so we'll jump right into here. It's gonna be in this drawer. So this is my eyeshadow palettes at the moment in the drawer. This is what I have. So I just have some Juvia's Place palettes. I will definitely go through these. I'm not sure if I'll swatch them, but I'll definitely go through a couple. Then we have our Morphe palettes here. I just have like this Estee Lauder thing. It's super old, as you guys can tell. Just some like random like Kat Von D. Oh, shit balls. Sorry guys. But I have this guy as well. Some of them are pretty much older and then some are newer. I actually bought a few of these off of a coworker, so this is not easy with one hand, you guys. I should have used my tripod, but whatever. But I have this guy as well. I'm gonna break one of these. I'm gonna cry. I have my Naked 3 palette, Smoky Naked palette. This is actually a Lancome palette, some Ulta palettes. Got a Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. My Vice 3 and some BH Cosmetics. Some Urban Decay and the Swamp Queen palette. So I'm actually going to take all of these out and show them to you. So it's not just going to be me going through a drawer. I'm actually going to pull all of these out. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the palettes that I have. Sorry if I'm kind of like at a weird angle. I don't know what happened. I think it's just because I switched out my chair. I'm like at a really weird angle, but it works. So I just want to jump into kind of like some random ones, and then I'll kind of go by brand. So the first one I have is just this BH Cosmetics palette. I actually got this from school. When I went to beauty school, they had these there, and sometimes we maybe get them in like our kit for like a makeup class, but I actually bought a couple because I wanted to do makeup on clients, and I also wanted to do makeup at home with this, so I bought like 2 of them. So I gave my mom one, so now I just have 1 of them. But the pigment of them is pretty good. They have a lot of pigment actually. So like this, let's do a bolder color here. So like this purple one here, 1 swatch, boom. Like this red one here, 1 swatch, boom. So like they have pretty good quality. I've always been a fan of BH Cosmetics for a lower brand. If you guys are interested in like looking into something more affordable, BH Cosmetics is a great look at something a step up from Morphe, or a step up from BH Cosmetics, something a little more better quality but still decent price. This eyeshadow palette was only like $22.50 or something like that, and this is the 35O palette. And Morphe is absolutely amazing. They have such good quality eyeshadows, like these shimmers, 1 swatch, boom, like crazy, 1 swatch, boom. Oh, that one still has a little red on it. Let's do like a reddish color, boom, like hi. Their colors are amazing. The kickback is kind of something they don't like. It does have a little bit, especially in like these shimmery ones. I feel like when I dig or pat my brush into it, it kind of comes out a lot. But for the most part, the price, you cannot even be mad. Like, you can't be mad. The shadows, I think each one has like 35 or so shadows in them or something like that. But for like 20 bucks, absolutely. This is something that I use like on the daily. I actually just filmed this tutorial with this eyeshadow palette, so I will keep that updated for you guys soon. But next I have this palette here from Morphe, and it's a little more colorful, a little more brighter colors. I have played around with this palette and I do really like it. The only downfall is I used this yellow before on my lids for like more of a colorful look, and this was not as pigmented as I wanted it to be. If you guys can see, it's yellow, yeah, but like it's patchy. It's not really, what do I want to call it, like, I don't know, just like the transfer from the palette to the eyes, I didn't really see a whole lot of pigment from that yellow. But a lot of the other colors I have really fallen in love with and I really like. It's just that yellow I was kind of ticked off about. I was like, fuck you, yellow. But next I have my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, which I freaking love. This is my really like big go-to palette, something I just pick up on the daily just because, one, it smells good. It smells like peaches. But they have a lot of good neutrals, so I can like set my eyeshadow primers or start with a transition color. But they also have some really nice like chocolatey transition colors and a couple bolder colors or a little more fun colors. But for like a neutral look, this is something I grab every single day. Even if it's just to grab one color out of it, I feel like I pick this up pretty much every single day. The price is a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it, especially if you're going to be using this constantly on a daily basis. Next I just have this Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. It's just this little cute Wizard of Oz, what does it say? The Great and Powerful Oz. I actually bought this off a coworker and I really like it. I mean, I don't use it pretty much every day, but it's nice to have, especially if you want to mix up your routine a little bit. It has some little fun shimmery colors down here. This purple I really like, and then like this nude color I really like. So I pick this up quite often as well. This actually used to be, I think this is my first eyeshadow palette that was like high-end. I'm pretty sure it was. So this is the like first eyeshadow palette I've ever owned. It's still in pretty good condition for being the first one. It's definitely been used, but for the most part it looks pretty dang good still. I do not reach for this very much anymore just because I've fallen in love with a lot of matte eyeshadow looks, and this has a ton of shimmer in it. It has a lot of like golds and greens and a lot of fun colors like this one. Just something I wouldn't use on a daily basis, so I don't really grab this one as much, but they do have a couple nice matte shades right here in the corner, like these three right here, and then like one off into the corner, but this still has a little bit of shimmer to it, so I don't pick that up as often, but I keep on to it just because this was like my #1 palette I've gotten. So yeah, I cherish this. This reminds me of good times, so it's an oldie but a goodie. Next I have my Naked Smoky palette and then a Naked 3 palette. Every single day, I don't think there's one day I go without picking up this palette right here, just because I freaking love this shade right here. It is called Limit. I use this pretty much like on every single eye look that I do. If it's not something like I'll do for YouTube, but like if I'm on the go and like I have to get ready for work, something like that, I will pick this up every single day, whether it's a transition color or just slap on all over my lids and then darken up my outer corner with something. I always pick Limit up literally every single day. It's just a really nice variety of nude shades, something pinky and flirty, and just a go-to palette, which I think. And then it has a few shimmeries, so if you want to like just slap this on your outer corner and then just hurry up and like use your finger and put this on the inner corner of your eye or something, this palette is definitely something you need in your collection. I would highly recommend this. Like I said before, this is a little bit pricier. I believe these are $54, I believe. It's in that price range for the Nakeds because they're higher end palettes. When I'm feeling like I need something a little more bolder, like a little more bolder look, I'll go for this Naked palette right here, just because I'll darken up my outer corners a lot. So like I'll pick up this guy right here. Sometimes I actually dig into this blue color. The shimmeries I don't use too often, but like I said, I love any palettes that have like these nude shades in them so I can set my eye. Next, I just have some palettes that I don't really use very often, but I have them. Like this Ulta palette. I won't ever say that I'm not going to use them, but I will definitely use it. I mean, if I want to do like a Halloween look and I don't really have any colors and I just want to use something really quick, I'll definitely use these. And I mean, they have pretty decent pigmentation. They're not terrible, but I just don't go to it very often. Next, I just have this Lorac palette. It's this little blue palette. It just has a lot of good like summery. When I think of this palette, I really think of beachy look, like something very neutral, very soft, with just like a hint of color. Just that's exactly what I think of, like a beach, or like, I don't know, I just think this is nice for like a summery look if you're wanting to do more of like a spring makeup tutorial with. Next, I just have this Bronze Goddess. I believe this is from Estee Lauder. I have no idea, but it's used. It's beat up. But I do like the pop of colors in here. I obviously loved this one because it hit pan. I used to just put that all over my lid and call it a day. I don't know why I did that so much, but I did. Next, I have this Kat Von D palette. And it's just like this little pop-up palette, which I don't go to very often either. This is definitely a little bit more for the fun colors. I love, love, love this color right here. I think that is so cool, especially if you want to do more of like a galaxy, like bluish purple look. I don't know, I love that color. It does have this fun color right here too. It is very pigmented. You can even use this as like a highlighter. So a lot of eyeshadows you don't have to use as eyeshadows. You can use them for highlighters too. So I hold on to a lot of palettes for that exact reason. And then I also have this Lancome eyeshadow palette. I got this for Christmas, and it is so freaking pretty. Lots and lots of nude pretty shades. This kind of reminds me of the Naked 3 palette, and then this kind of reminds me of the Smokey palette. So like it's those combined. So I'd probably use this one a little more just because it has that combination of where I can just use that one palette. I don't have to pick up multiple palettes. I can just set my shadow, use a transition color, and darken up my or the outer corner. Like this palette's very good to use as one palette. You don't have to keep picking up so many different palettes. So that I really like, and it does have a few shimmery. I love this palette. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like chocolate. The only dislike I have about this palette is that this shimmery shade right here I like as a highlighter, even for like the inner corner of my eyes or brow bones or anything like that. It has a lot of kickbacks. Like when you put your brush in it, it seriously just goes all over the place. But I love it because it's so freaking pigmented. Like, it's so blinding. It's crazy. So I love that for a lot of different things, but the kickback is for real. But like I said, with a lot of the other palettes, it has a good like setting your primer and then like a transition color. Then you can have some more fun, bolder colors. This has a blush and a little bronzer and a highlighter. And you can even use those as eyeshadows. I mean, it's very versatile and you can use it for a lot of different things. But I feel like this is good to have. Not least, I just have my Juvia's palettes. I don't think I would splurge on any other palette but this. They're a little bit pricier. They're not extremely pricey though. I think they're like $20 to $30 a palette. I know I spent like $150 or something for a bundle for all three of these, and that to me was just crazy. I freaking love these palettes. These are my favorite palettes out of everything in my collection. These are about my ride or die, like my go-to palettes that I use on constantly. This first one here is the Nubian by Juvia's. Good coppery bronze colors. And if you guys want to talk about pigment, this company, I don't know how they did it, but they just have such creamy eyeshadows, and they are just blinding. Like, these are the best quality eyeshadows that I've ever seen so far. They're just so freaking pretty. Like, look at that. They're amazing. And those are just the shimmers. Even like the matte ones have very good pigment to them as well. So this one is the Nubian 2 palette, which I love. Just the colors in this, you can be so creative and just play around so much. There's a nice blue and green, this really rich dark coppery color, more of like this I don't know what you want to call it, like this silvery golden color. I don't even know. But they have just such creative colors in here, and you can just really play around so much. But like, even their matte shades right here are gorgeous. Let's see if I can swatch these. Like, wow. And last but not least, this is the Masquerade palette by Juvia's, and I use this on YouTube for like every bold look that I do. Pretty much in colorful or any like rainbow or festive or just anything that needs color or boldness, I'll go to this palette right away. It just has a ton of fun colors, so like blues and purples, and like this magenta, green, pink, turquoise, like, and then you also have some of those bronzier shades. The only thing I don't like is that it doesn't have a very like nude shade that you can toss on over like your primer to set your eyes, but I could always grab another palette for that. But to play around with and get creative with, this is like a have-to-have palette. If there's one palette I would recommend out of everything in here, it'd probably be this one or one of the Juvia's palettes. I couldn't see myself without this palette or any of the palettes. I just think they're absolutely amazing. And like the look at that pigment. Like, who can live without that pigment? Like, holy shitballs, look at that. That is the best pigment I've ever seen in an